In this video, we're going to be talking about PHAs. These are polyhydroxy acids. They are a really great introduction if you've gone from enzymes, so you're really hypersensitive, you've started to do enzymes, you feel great, but then you tried lactic acid, you're like, whoa, too much, went too far. You tried any other form of alpha hydroxy or beta hydroxy, so any type of salicylic, glycolic, lactic, and your skin's like, no, I can't do it. PHAs are really nice in between to get you there if you need to get there. They are a nice large molecule. They are part of the AHA family, so the alpha hydroxy. They are very good at being a humectant, so it does help to bring more moisture to the skin. And typically you want to see this in anywhere between 10% or less. Anything more than that, you're really going to be pushing on the exfoliant side. And this is just meant to be a very, very superficial top layer of the skin, getting rid of the stratum corneum, the dead crusty layer, in a very, very gentle format. Like I said, large molecule, very slow penetration. The problem with the PHA is you see these a lot in toners. And sometimes the toners, when you look up what is the percentage, it's like a 2%. So it's not really effective. But at the same time, they want you to use this almost every single day. And this is where you can run into trouble, especially if you have sensitive skin. Daily exfoliation used to be a thing way back in the day, but then we started realizing how much we were compromising the skin barrier, again, with all different types of forms of sensitivities and skin types and skin thicknesses. Thick, hardy skin, no problem. Very dry, sensitive, frail skin, problem, right? Acne skin, things like that. Everybody started noticing that it's not a one size fits all. So when it comes to exfoliation with a PHA, I still believe once a day is fine. You can use this up to 5 days a week. I wouldn't exactly go more than that. There's always a caveat, there's always somebody that can, but I would recommend that if you're going to start using a PHA after you've done some sort of enzyme exfoliant, and you feel like, okay, I'm ready for the next level, this is where you would do a PHA. And some PHAs are blended with a little bit of a BHA, so this has a little bit of salicylic. Remember, if it says BHA, that means salicylic. So this would mean that there's a little bit of oil solubility within there, so it might be a little bit more bang for your buck. But again, PHA is basically a large molecule, typically found in a toner. Very, very, very good for sensitive skin that has graduated from using an enzyme. And you can go right up, and you're not really quite ready to go up to an actual glycolic or lactic or salicylic on its own. Can you use this after a chemical peel or any type of Medi-Spa? Yes, you can if you have good hardy skin. So let's say you've tried the enzyme, you're like, oh my God, this is just not getting the job done. My skin is fine, I'm not hypersensitive. It's been 3 to 4 days after my treatment. And again, always talk to your Medi-Spa provider what type of exfoliant you are allowed to use, because they're going to know the strength, the depth, and the intensity of their treatment. So again, always revert back to what they tell you. But can you use a PHA after 3 to 4 days afterwards? Yes, of course. You're going to go very slow. Make sure that your skin can tolerate it, but it's a kind of a better way to get through a little bit more than just an enzyme peel if you're not super hypersensitive. Because I know I have one client, she's got very thick, hardy skin, and we did try the enzyme and she's just like, it's just not cutting the mustard. So the next time she did her treatment the following month, we moved her up to a PHA and she was much happier with that. But again, this isn't her regular exfoliant. She just tucks this off to the side and goes back to her regular exfoliating routine. This is where PHAs are also a great thing to have if you decide to start doing any type of treatments like microneedling or any type of laser treatments down the road. It's nice to have because it gives you options when it comes to that horrible phase where you have to get rid of those dead skin cells, but you don't want to compromise the barrier itself. Again, anti-inflammatory, doesn't do much for pigmentation concerns, I'll be honest. What you can use with it. You can use your vitamin C afterwards. So if you wanted to use this during the day, of course, you still have to use any type of SPF. That goes with all exfoliants, of course. You definitely want to make sure that can you use it with a retinoid? Yes, if you keep it on the low percentage. So if it's under 10% or less, you should be safe using it with your retinoid. If you're using tretinoin prescription, you might be a little sensitive. So again, this PHA is meant for sensitive skin or after a treatment. So that's why I'm saying be cognizant of what your skin can tolerate. But I mean, I'm assuming if you're on tretinoin, your skin's probably not that sensitive in that department unless it's sensitive to exfoliants, which could be another issue. But what I'm trying to say is this will be used 1 to 2 times a week at the beginning. Then you can start using it up to 3 times to 5 times a week. So that's how far you can use this. Yes, your skin will get used to it. So again, once you've done this and you find that you're doing great and you want to move up to the next level, like a lactic acid would be the next options, azelaic, even salicylic, depending on your skin. Those would be the options for you. I would not go right into glycolic because it's the smallest molecule and it's pretty aggressive. So I wouldn't go quite there if you're starting from a PHA and moving up. I would start with a lactic, which is a bit of a bigger molecule, more humectant. You'll see in the other videos when I talk about lactic acid. But PHAs are fantastic. And again, just don't get stuck in that mindset that you can use it every single day, twice a day. Yes, you can use it with peptides. Yes, you can use it with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide. Yes, with your vitamin C's. Yes, with your growth factors, if you're using growth factors. And yes, with retinoids, as long as you're being mindful of how to use them. Be very, very careful. But other than that, that is PHAs.